Greetings friends, Jawless Paul here. In this video I'm going to talk about the sword and the spear, my thoughts on the different aspects, and then ranking each aspect in terms of how powerful I think it is. Now, just because I rank something low doesn't mean that you can't have an amazing run with this weapon. I'm just talking about the base effects of the weapon and how well they synergize with some of the boons in the game that are particularly strong. Without further ado, let's try to get through this as quickly as possible. We're starting with the Stygian Blade, aspect of Zagreus, bonus attack speed and move speed. There's not a whole lot to say about this one. It just is a nice little buff to the basic sword. Some good combos would be like Flurry Strike. You know, you've already got a fast attack, and that just makes your Flurry Strike even faster. You could get Piercing Wave hammer upgrade. That also might be good. And then, I mean, maybe Cursed Slash if you're feeling like being risky. And then there are some fun little combinations, like there's a Hermes boon that you do more damage based on the speed that you're going when you do the attack. So like if you have faster move speed, your dash is faster, and therefore you're doing more damage. I haven't tested this myself, but it could be very interesting. I rank this at a C. It's just a little bit below average. It's not terrible, but I wouldn't say that compared to the other aspects, it's that amazing. Next is Aspect of Nemesis. For 3 seconds after your special, your attack may deal critical damage. And at max rank, it's 30%. So basically, you special, and for 3 seconds, you can crit with your main attack. I talked about this in the other Aspect video. Not much has changed. If anything, this is even better than I initially thought. This weapon is incredible. It's really good. You can tell a weapon is really good if it's beloved by speedrunners, and this weapon is definitely that. So there's lots of fun combinations with this. I don't think that there's a bad one out there. It's just always so good to have crit. It's 200% extra damage on top of your base attack. So what's not to like about that? The classic build would be like Artemis attack, and then marked targets, and then Artemis dash. You've got quite a lot of damage with that combination, and you'll be destroying the screen every time. S tier for sure, I think, just because of how powerful crit is. Next is Aspect of Poseidon. Your special dislodges your cast stones from foes, and your cast damage is increased by 50%. Aspect of Poseidon is pretty great when you're doing a cast build. The biggest problem with a cast build, especially one that has the stones stick in enemies, is that you can't retrieve those stones until they pop out. So your main source of damage is missing for that whole time. But if you special, they all pop out as early as you want. For a cast build, this is exactly what you want. So any set of boons that buffs your cast, especially the casts where the stones stick in enemies, that's very, very good. And not much has changed since I talked about it initially. Very, very strong. A tier, I'd say. It's not completely busted, but it is very, very good. A very solid, above average weapon for sure. And then we have Aspect of Arthur. You have Holy Excalibur plus 50 life to your total, not 50%. And then your aura damage reduction is 40%. Arthur is interesting. Obviously, he provides a lot of defensive bonuses. In the armor and in just the bonus life. 150 health to start if you have thick skin as well from the mirror. In exchange, your attack is different. I think that this is what they would consider the downside to the weapon, just the fact that it's very slow, but it's a lot of damage. I guess for me, This weapon feels incredibly powerful. I'm not very good with it. And the thing to note as well is that when you're doing some of these moves, if they're interrupted, like see how long it takes to do the special. If you're interrupted in that, the special does not go off. So that's a big deal, especially with faster enemies, that they're going to be interrupting you a lot. So finding a way to get sturdy, a sturdy effect either from I think you can get them from Hermes. There's a duo boon that's really valuable with Arthur's sword, but I find the balance of this weapon baffling, and I consider it to be S tier just because of the amount of defensive bonuses plus a very good damaging attack. I like to put Artemis on the attack to just get those big numbers. A lot of different hammers work with this. Increasing your attack speed is good from Hermes. There's a special hammer just for Arthur that increases the aura size and the amount of slow. So projectiles are slowed in this, and when they pass through this, and enemies are slowed, and you get that 40% damage reduction. It's just very solid all around. S tier, I think. I can't get used to it for some reason, and I get hit a lot with the weapon, so I'm not very good with it, but I think in the right hands, S tier for sure. All right, let's move on to the spear. To start, we'll talk about the Zag Spear. Special damage, range, and speed up 25%. Okay. Zag Spear, I think I've talked about it before. It's changed from when I initially talked about it, and I think it's a lot better. Zag Spear is fun because it's very special focused, and there are some really fun hammers for the spear, and you get to utilize them really well with the spear. One of them being explosive launcher. You have 25% increased damage on your exploding launcher, which is very nice. Also, multi-skewer is great. So basically, if you want to have a special focused run where you can use some of these special hammers, you're going to want to go with Zag Spear. There are some combinations that I think are particularly busted, or just fun. Explosive launcher with Artemis is great, and then multi-skewer, and then you get Poseidon and Sea Storm and Jolted. I have a video coming out where I kind of illustrate how fun that is. But yeah, I would say this is B tier in the sense that it's really solid. It's like right where a weapon should be, in my opinion. It's not below average, it's not above average, it's just really solid. So Aspect of Zagreus, B tier. Aspect of Achilles. After your special, you can retrieve your spear with Raging Rush. Post-rush bonus damage is 150% on the next 4 attacks or casts. So this is, if anything, they've made this a lot stronger. So I liked it when it was just 2 attacks or casts, and they've upped it to 4. This effect works the same way as it used to, and then your next 4 casts are more powerful. It's an amazing weapon. It's a great cast weapon. It should be noted that you're gonna want to use the casts where the stones don't stick in enemies. So Dionysus Trippy Shot, Demeter's cast, if you can get Blizzard Shot, Slicing Shot, all of those are gonna be great with Achilles Spear because you don't need to worry about waiting for your stones to reappear. Alternately, you can get the other mirror upgrade for your stones, which would be Stygian Soul, and basically that makes it so your stones automatically reload. It can be tough to make that work. You're gonna need to get a cast stone either from Chaos or from Artemis. I wouldn't rely on Artemis. You're gonna want to take every Chaos gate to try to get that stone. Alternately, there's a Well of Charon thing that you can buy that gives you an extra stone as well. But Aspect of Achilles is S tier. It's so strong. It's so much bonus damage for the next 4. I mean, you've only got 3 casts to start, and putting that much extra damage on them is it's incredibly fun. It's a lot of fun. All right, Aspect of Hades. Your spin becomes Punishing Sweep. Punishing bonus damage is 150%. So it marks a target for 10 seconds, and that target then takes bonus damage from attacks and from specials. I initially threw a lot of shade at the Hades Spear, and I still kind of stand by that for where it was before, but now the spear spin is a lot bigger. As you can see, that's about the size that you get with the massive spin hammer upgrade. So a fun combination with this is to get the massive spin hammer upgrade with quick spin, and then you've just got a spinning monster of a build. Now it should be noted that when the target is marked, you don't get the bonus on the spin attack, which I don't understand. So it's 100 damage for the spin attack, and it's still 100 damage. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but this is another viable special build weapon. If you wanted to focus on special, get explosive launcher, get multi skewer, that could be very, very strong indeed. I'd say it's a slightly better version of the Zagreus Spear, but it requires spinning, and spinning, in my opinion, is a bit of a trap for beginners. I think that it's a difficult mechanic to get right. So with that being said, I put Hades Spear B tier. It's kind of right in the middle. I wouldn't say it's particularly incredible, but it's a very solid weapon. Next, we have the aspect of Guan Yu. You have Frost Fair Blade, but your health and healing are reduced. So max life and healing down to 50%. This is the same as it was when I talked about it before. I feel differently about it now than I did before. Basically, you've got this where you're sending off projectiles with your spin. Your special is a rocket. They did nerf the size of the rocket when it flies. So I don't know. I guess when I think about taking Guan Yu, I hesitate because of just how big of a gambit it is to lose that much health, right? Like if you were like if it said like you start with 50 health, like no matter what you always start with 50 health and your healing is reduced, then maybe. But the fact that your max health is always going to be half of what it should be or what it could be with all the buffs and bonuses that you found is really punishing. And when I compare this, for instance, when I compare this to Aspect of Arthur, like sure I can heal myself with this, but like Arthur gives you extra defensive bonuses, and I'd say that the offensive bonuses on Arthur are very strong as well. It may not be, it may not be as strong as the special, but the downside is that you don't get some of the cool special hammers with Guan Yu. You don't get explosive launcher. You don't get multi skewer. It's fun. It's fun to take Guan Yu and get Artemis on the special. That is a fun build, but it's very risky. So I can't honestly, when I think about this weapon, I can't put it above B tier now because of just the risk that you're taking. I've had so many runs where I started with it and it just failed. It fizzled out because I didn't have enough health to survive. I think that they're in the hands of very talented players. It can be good, but is that a reason why it should be ranked higher? I don't think so, especially when I compare it with the other legendary aspects. They're just better. Friends, that's gonna do it for my list of weapons and how I feel about them. Please leave a comment below if you disagree or if you agree or if you have anything to say about that. I will have the shield and bow video up as soon as I can, and then the fist and the rail video up as well. I wanted to divide it up because the video just gets really long otherwise. Thanks for watching. I hope that you're having a great day, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.